Hey guys, Pie Guy Rules here, and I am going to give an in-depth review and critique of the Disney Plus streaming service. The goal of this video is to showcase the content, features, and issues with Disney Plus to help you decide if the service is right for you. To do this, I will be breaking consumers down into three categories. There is the media junkies, those who love pop culture like myself, families, which include parents and kids, and casual viewers, people who enjoy TV as a thing to chill out with after work but aren't super into it. Not everyone fits squarely into one category, but I think these are useful shorthands to represent the way most people consume streaming services. You'll be seeing these icons throughout the video whenever I think a feature appeals to a particular demographic. Disney Plus is a new streaming service that launched on November 12th, 2019. This review will be judging what it's like to use the service in late February 2020, and I'll be doing an update video when I feel like enough has changed to warrant one. The service is available on many devices. I've personally used it with these and have found no major technical issues thus far. I'll mainly be using the website for the visuals of this review, as that's what's easiest for me to capture, and I have not found any major differences between that and the various app-based versions on other devices. So in terms of features, Disney Plus has all of the bells and whistles that you'd expect from a streaming service. A watch list to bookmark shows and movies that interest you, a continue watching feature to pick up where you left off, and multiple profiles to keep these features separated by person. And naturally, the profile creation system comes with an option to set it to Kids mode. That sends the user to a very different looking Disney Plus, with categories aimed at young kids, and all of the TV shows and movies that feature even a slight bit of violence or more mature themes have been removed, thus ensuring that most reasonable parents would have absolutely no fears in leaving their kid in front of the Disney Plus Kids mode with complete free reign. There's also an exhaustive selection of languages, closed captioning, and even descriptive audio settings on many shows and movies, and with a wide variety of ways that you can display the subtitles, ensuring that Disney Plus is all-inclusive no matter what language you speak or accommodations you might need. The service also supports 4K resolutions and HDR, as well as 5.1 surround sound. But oddly enough, they'll only show you these options if you're on the TV version. Disney Plus also allows you to download things to your mobile device, and the standard package comes with the ability to simultaneously watch it on up to 4 different screens. Now onto the user interface, and how easy it is to find things. The design places a major focus on grouping things based upon production house and franchise. This is different from a lot of other services which primarily group things based on genre. Though Disney Plus does have some grouping by genre, it is certainly not the first thing your eye is drawn to when you log in. You have the big categories at the homepage: Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic. Additionally, if you click the Search tab, you will find even more categories like High School Musical and Disney Channel original movies. Also, there is a separate tab just for original Disney Plus programming, which is really convenient as it's something you're going to be going back to over and over again. Lastly, if you navigate over to the movie and series tabs, you'll find that everything there is listed A to Z or by genre. And of course, if all else fails, there is indeed the search engine. Overall, I think the design looks sleek, and it's easy to navigate for kids and adults alike. And for the most part, there's a really nice logic as to where everything is. And there's the added benefit that you're able to look at a bunch of very similar things all at once, if you're in the mood for a Pixar movie, but you're not exactly sure which one you want to watch. But there are some issues with it, like the fact that the Disney tab has way too many different Disney things, from classic Mickey Mouse shorts to Disney Channel original movies to current day Disney Channel cartoons and Disney's theatrical animated movies. It kinda makes the tab useless because there's just so many things that fall under it. The National Geographic, Star Wars, Marvel, and Pixar tabs do not suffer the same fate, and they are organized quite well because there's not as much content to sift through. Then there's the issue of certain things that don't actually fall under any of these main brackets. The Simpsons, Avatar, and ABC sitcoms like Boy Meets World. None of these fit in the main categories, and they're not a part of any collection. I'm not entirely sure what the solution here is. Perhaps a miscellaneous tab would help. although that probably wouldn't look as good. What I can say is that they do have a lot of these featured on the homepage, either in the top bar that scrolls through highlighted content, or down below on the main page under categories listed as things like hit movies or trending. So it's not really the biggest problem right now, but going forward as the service grows and Disney adds more random content that they've acquired over the years, they might want to figure out a better solution to categorizing these things. But on the whole, I think the Disney Plus system works pretty well. Now let me talk a little bit about the original content on Disney Plus. Disney is releasing new content every Friday. Instead of dropping whole seasons at once for their biggest shows, they are releasing new episodes of Disney Plus originals week to week. This helps generate buzz every Friday over shows like High School Musical the Musical and Mandalorian, which have drama elements which keep people hooked on these shows and make them want to subscribe past the trial period. Your mileage will vary on if you prefer this style of a release or if you prefer Netflix's style of dropping whole seasons at once. There are way too many shows to talk about each one of them, and most of them can be easily grouped together. So let me first start by talking about the Shorts collections. There's Forky Asks a Question, Short Circuit, and Spark Shorts. These are all very good. While not every single short resonates with me, most of them are very ambitious and try something different, either in storytelling style or animation style, or just by being very weird like Forky Asks a Question is. I highly recommend them, but I don't think they're strong selling points for the service. If you already have Disney Plus, then great, check them out. But I don't think any of these will entice anyone to get the service. At most, it will get you to use the 7-day free trial, in which case you can very easily see all of these shorts within that time. There's also Pixar in Real Life and Family Sundays, which are a Pixar-themed prank show and a arts and crafts tutorial for kids. I'm not going to say these are awful, they're kind of cute, I guess, but they are not a draw for the service. Then you have what I call the uplifting family documentary series. Disney Fairy Tale Weddings, Encore, which is a show about remaking high school productions years later. Pick Up the Litter, which is about the training process of service dogs. Marvel Hero Project, which is about exceptional kids who help their community. And The World According to Jeff Goldblum, which is about the titular actor going through topics that he finds amusing and exploring a little bit about them. Honestly, these are entertaining series. They're very light and family friendly and wholesome and the sort of thing you can watch with grandma and little Timmy. I think it's entertaining content, but none of these are what I would consider must-see TV, and nothing I would recommend you get the service to see. Skipping over some of the other content, I will ask the question, do I think there is anything in here that really sells Disney Plus? Is a big A-list show like Orange is the New Black was, or Stranger Things is for Netflix? Well, yes, I do. And it's not High School Musical the series, which is a show that's not really made for me, but from what I've seen, it looks to be not really any different from your average teenage high school sitcom with a PG rating. No, of course I'm talking about The Mandalorian. This is a series that is exceptional. It is something that feels like an experience when you're watching it. Although it takes place in the Star Wars universe, you don't need to know anything about Star Wars at all to get into the show and really enjoy it, as it takes place in its own little pocket of Star Wars canon that's more about bounty hunting and being a space outlaw. If you're into dramas or science fiction at all, I highly recommend the show. And I do think that this is something that is worth getting Disney Plus for if you're interested in it. That said, it currently only has 8 episodes, so if you get the 7-day free trial and watch 2 episodes a day, you'll be able to see the whole thing, although the show will definitely be coming back for a season 2. Even though I think The Mandalorian is something that stands above the rest of the content, I still do think there is an average quality level that is pretty decent. And this is a lot of originals considering how new the service is. And we do know that there are things coming on the horizon, like all of the Marvel shows, including What If, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and a Loki show, which, to me at least, are all things that look to be very exciting. So if you were looking to get Disney Plus just for the originals, I would say pass on it for right now, or get the 7-day free trial and watch the shows that may interest you, because most of them don't have long seasons anyway. But of course, originals aren't the only thing Disney Plus has. Let's take a look at how they handle their already existing legacy content. Their library features around 200 series and about 600 movies. Granted, that includes series of shorts and Disney Channel original movies. For reference though, Netflix has 1,700 shows and about 3,900 different movies. At this point, a lot of these are originals, and Netflix has an over 10-year head start on Disney Plus, so I think all things considered this is a decent start for the amount of legacy content on the platform. And unlike Netflix, there is no sign that anything that is currently on Disney Plus will be taken off Disney Plus, because almost every single piece of content on there is 100% owned by Disney, so they never have to worry about licensing rights. The only reason Disney Plus would ever have to remove things off the service is if they wanted to create some sort of artificial scarcity for the product to drive up DVD sales or to hype its inevitable comeback to Disney Plus. Hopefully, they will not do that. I'm also happy to report that in terms of legacy content, Disney Plus has almost every Pixar, Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Star Wars film. The only missing Pixar film is Incredibles 2, which is currently tied up in licensing with Netflix, but will be available on the service on July 30th. The only missing Star Wars films are Episode 9, which only came out a few months ago, and Solo, which is coming in July. In terms of Marvel movies, Infinity War and Ant-Man and the Wasp are tied up in Netflix, but will be coming soon. However, The Incredible Hulk, which is tied up with Paramount, and both Spider-Man solo films, which are tied up with Sony, are not on the service and have no indication that they will be coming anytime soon. Disappointingly though, there is not any live-action Marvel movie that isn't a part of the MCU. None of the Fox-made X-Men films or Fantastic Four films or anything else. And as far as Walt Disney Animation Studios theatrical films, they have every single one except for Make Mine Music, Tarzan and Wreck-It Ralph 2, which are both coming soon, and Frozen 2, which was only in theaters a few months ago. And movies like Dumbo that contain culturally insensitive elements have not been edited or censored, but instead have a warning explaining just that, which I think is a classy compromise that appeases both those who want to view the movie as originally intended and those who would rather not see racist stereotypes. And this seems like as good a time as any to bring up one issue that I have. When you search for something in the search tab, like Infinity War, it will show up in the results, making it appear as if it's on Disney Plus already. But when you go to click it, it says that it's coming at a certain date. Now, on the one hand, I appreciate the fact that they are letting us know that this film is coming soon, and it's great that they give us an exact date to plan for it. What's a bummer, though, is if you were to just search for it, just out of curiosity as to if it's on the service or not, and then not click on the little link, and then just go ahead and assume that it's on there and tell your friends or tell your listeners on the podcast that you do, or what have you, that it's on Disney Plus, and maybe you even make plans to watch it with someone later that night. But then, oh darn, it's not actually on the service. In my opinion, they should put a little banner on the icon just saying, coming soon. That way we still get the benefit of knowing that it's coming to the service, but no one feels tricked or deceived or let down by the fact that it's not currently there. And looking at the TV side of things, when it comes to recent TV shows that are not exclusive to Disney Plus, it seems like they have all seasons available except for the currently airing season. They do not add episodes as they air. Hopefully they'll add the new season after it's finished airing, but it's too soon to know if that will happen and how long it will take after the season is finished airing for it to come to Disney Plus. Now we need to talk about some of the issues and questions I had when it came to their legacy TV shows. I am happy to say that when it comes to older shows, if Disney Plus has it on the service, then it has every episode ever made. For the most part. There are a few notable exceptions, like Zack and Cody is missing an episode in the first season that allegedly made light of dyslexia. Also, Andy Mack is missing, well, half the show, because these episodes have an actor that Disney is not comfortable associating with thanks to his horrible crimes. And of course, there is an episode missing from The Simpsons, the first episode of Season 3, Stark Raving Dad, which the creators of The Simpsons decided to pull from all releases due to new revelations coming out in the controversy surrounding Michael Jackson. There certainly might be other examples out there, but in terms of all the shows that I've looked over, these are the only instances of missing episodes. There was this weird case where when That's So Raven came to Disney Plus, it was missing most of the episodes in season 1, but then they all randomly got put in at some point, so I'm not entirely sure what that's about. I'm not going to talk about the ethics of Disney choosing not to include episodes for reasons of problematic actors or problematic messaging, but what I will say is that at least Disney is not hiding the fact that they are not including these episodes. Thanks to the numbering system they have, it clearly is shown when there are episodes missing, and if people are really that curious, I'm sure you can find those other episodes somewhere else on the internet. Another upside is that in no case is a show just randomly missing a season or an episode without some explanation behind it. And even Boy Meets World, which had a few episodes pulled when it ran on the Disney Channel for sexual content, is seen on Disney Plus in its full form with all episodes intact. Additionally, most shows that were made in a 4:3 aspect ratio are indeed presented in 4:3. They are not stretched or zoomed, with the only exceptions I found to this being Goof Troop and the Little Mermaid series. Also, The Simpsons, which is a major issue that I'll get to in a moment. I would love to see these shows have the option to put them in their original aspect ratio of 4:3. And actually, some shows like Lilo and Stitch the series, Kim Possible, and Teacher's Pet of all things, were made in widescreen but originally aired in 4:3 as that was the standard at the time. On Disney Plus, these shows are presented in glorious widescreen as most of us have never seen before, which is pretty awesome. Now, with The Simpsons and widescreen, they have put out an official statement saying that sometime early in 2020, The Simpsons will be getting a slider to allow you to watch the series in 4:3 as well as the zoomed version, like the last service that hosted The Simpsons already had. Next, I want to talk about something that is indeed a major issue with Disney Plus: airing order. Unfortunately, many shows have episodes that are listed out of order. Also, for some reason, shows with multiple seasons are sometimes labeled as just having one season. They just put episodes from seasons 2 and beyond in the season 1 category at the end. This gives the illusion that there's episodes missing, but there isn't. Disney Plus just mislabeled all of them as season 1. But worse than that is the airing order. Just look at DuckTales 2017, which has Woo-Oo as the 4th episode, even though it is clearly the 1st episode, as it has the nephews meeting Uncle Scrooge for the very first time and clearly sets up the entire show. That's a pretty major mistake and off-putting for anyone trying to get into the show that accidentally clicked on an episode that isn't the introductory episode. And also, look at how mangled up the 90s Spider-Man series is. And wait a minute, that's not English. And in the week since I took that screenshot, apparently they fixed the English issue, although they have not fixed the airing order issue. Oh, and there's another frustrating issue when it comes to the TV shows. Let's say I want to watch the Tangled show. Okay, so I start episode 1 and what? Why is her hair blonde again? And what secret is she keeping from Eugene? Okay, so apparently there is a TV movie that is the first episode of the show. And while it is on Disney Plus, there's absolutely nothing at all telling me I should watch that first. Oh, sure, there's a suggested tab, but that doesn't tell me anything about the order in which I should be watching these things. Likewise, Kim Possible, Star Wars The Clone Wars, Recess, and others have movies and specials that take place in a specific order with the series, but without looking it up online, there is just no way to know. I believe a watch this first type of tab with numbering would be very beneficial, especially for some of the more complicated things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The reason why they have the Tangled special separate from the Tangled series is because it makes Disney Plus look like it has one more piece of content rather than just correctly putting it as episode 1 of the Tangled series. And this isn't an issue so much as it is something that is very noticeably missing, but the classic Muppet Show is not on Disney Plus. They have the more recent sitcom, they have a few of the movies, both new and old, but they don't have the Muppet Show, like the thing that made the Muppets famous. But now let's talk about one of the most important factors in deciding if Disney Plus is right for you: the price. Standard pricing is $7 a month or $70 for a year, which essentially gives you 2 months for free. It's worth noting that if you sign up for a monthly plan, you can cancel at any time you like. Additionally, there is a bundle with ESPN and Hulu with ads for $13 a month. And most importantly, if you have an unlimited data plan or a 5G home internet plan with Verizon in America, then you may qualify for free Disney Plus for an entire year. Whether or not you think it's worth the price is, of course, going to depend on your situation, but I will say that it is about half the price of Netflix and way cheaper than buying even a tiny fraction of these movies and TV shows on home media. Heck, in most places, a month of Disney Plus is actually cheaper than a single movie ticket. Now, onto the conclusion. I think that the Disney Plus streaming service is an absolute must get for pop culture junkies and families. If you have nostalgia for Disney, or like watching some random obscure stuff, or are interested in a lot of family friendly, entertaining, but not quite amazing content, Disney Plus has an endless stream of these things. And although Disney Plus does not have nearly as much content as something like Netflix, it does have a lot of content under a few very specific categories. That being said, I do not think Disney Plus is quite ready yet for an average consumer, someone who isn't that interested in animation or family-friendly programming. You will notice that Disney does not have a category on their TV show page for dramas, because they just don't have that many. This is a big deal because someone who doesn't get to watch a lot of media might prefer a different streaming service that has everything all at once. And quite frankly, Disney might not care about adding more drama series because they have such a huge user base already. They might be perfectly content nestling into that family-friendly sphere that they simply don't care to compete in the dramatic space. Or maybe not. After all, The Mandalorian was their most successful new show, and all of those Marvel shows coming up definitely have at least some aspects of drama. So right now it's up in the air if that aspect of Disney Plus will be improved on. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Disney Plus, and I hope it's helped you decide whether or not it's worth it for you. Please be sure to leave a like, comment below with your opinion on Disney Plus, and subscribe if you want to see more content reviewing and critiquing streaming services. Pie Guy Rules, out.